Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today, once again, we're going to grab some canned sardines. You know, like I've told you in the past, one of the best ingredients available to us because they're heart healthy and packed with protein, create a super delicious recipe. We're talking sardine meatballs and tomato sauce. This is known as Albóndigas de Sardinas en Salsa de Tomate. And let me tell you, these sardine meatballs have a firm texture on the outside with the delicious pop of flavors in the inside. The recipe is very easy to make, and the best part, it's all done in 30 minutes using just one pan. Folks, serve this dish next to some roasted potatoes, a garden salad, and a bottle of Spanish red wine. More specifically from the region of Jumilla, and have yourself the best moment of your day. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. The Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have the biggest selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, Marcona almonds, olives, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, which we're going to be using in today's recipe, and all the spices you need to make all your favorite Spanish recipes, among so many other great ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to cookware, they have an amazing selection of authentic Spanish paella pans that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings. And they even offer classic grilling systems, that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com. Let them know Albert from Spain on a Fork sent you there, and make sure you use coupon code ONAFORK during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's just dive right into this. I'm going to drain 2 cans of sardines in olive oil into a fine sieve with a bowl underneath. The size of the cans that I'm using are 120 grams, which is about 4.5 ounces each. Link where you can get the Spanish sardines I'm using in the description box below. Then we'll shake off any of the excess oil in the sardines, transfer them into a large bowl, and using a large wooden spoon, we'll break the sardines apart until we end up with little chunks of sardines. Then we'll add in a 1/4 cup of plain breadcrumbs, which is 35 grams. Crack in 2 eggs. Add in a 1/4 cup of chopped onion, which is 40 grams. 1 clove of garlic that's been finely grated. And 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, which is 8 grams. Then we'll season with a kiss of sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together. Once everything is well mixed, we'll mash down on the mixture until we end up with a paste-like texture. This is to ensure that all the ingredients are well bound. That way, once we're cooking the meatballs, they hold their shape and they don't break apart. To shape the meatballs, we'll grab a spoonful of the mixture and squeeze it in our hands. Once again, this is just to ensure that all the ingredients are well bound together. And shape into a ball about the size of a golf ball. And if you see that your mixture is too wet to work with, add in some breadcrumbs, and vice versa if it's too dry, add in some whisked egg. Once all the sardine meatballs have been assembled, let's start cooking them up. I'm going to heat a large fry pan with a medium heat and add in the reserved olive oil from the canned sardines, which is about 3 tablespoons or 45 milliliters. You can also use regular olive oil here if you prefer. After a couple minutes and the oil is nice and hot, we'll add in the sardine meatballs. You want to make sure they're on a single layer and evenly spaced out. And we're going to go for about 8 to 10 minutes here until the sardine meatballs are golden fried all around. After about 10 minutes and the meatballs are golden fried, we'll remove them from the pan and set them aside. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, let's make our tomato sauce. I'm going to add in 3 cloves of garlic that are roughly chopped. And we'll mix the garlic around continuously. That way it all evenly sautés. After 30 to 45 seconds, and that garlic is beautifully fragrant, you don't want to brown it, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams. And half a teaspoon of hot smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.25 grams. And we'll quickly mix it together. And like I've told you in the past, when you're working with paprika in a hot pan, you want to mix it in there quickly, otherwise it can easily get a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, which is 425 grams. This is very similar to passata. And season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And if you see that your tomato sauce is too acidic, just add in a dash of white sugar, some baking soda, or even a little ground cinnamon. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. After simmering the tomato sauce for about 5 minutes and it's slightly thickened, we'll add in the sardine meatballs back into the pan. And once again, make sure they're in a single layer and evenly spaced out. And we'll give each one a gentle flip, that way they're fully coated in all that goodness. And we're going to simmer this for another 2 to 3 minutes, or until the sardine meatballs are just heated through. Then we remove the pan from the heat, transfer some of the tomato sauce into a serving dish, top it off with a couple of the sardine meatballs, and some chopped parsley. Check it out, our sardine meatballs and tomato sauce is done. Easy to make, beautiful restaurant quality presentation, and all done in 30 minutes using just one pan. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, albóndigas de sardinas in salsa de tomate. This I am so excited to try. Here we go. Packed with so much goodness. You know, hard to believe that we have a couple cans of sardines and some other ingredients. We got such a beautiful looking dish. The meatballs held their shape and they have so many great flavors inside, with the sardines really shining through. And that smoky tomato sauce rounds it up for the perfect balance of goodness. Give this a try at home. Once again, next to some roasted potatoes, a garden salad, and a bottle of Spanish red wine from the beautiful region of Jumilla, gonna have yourself the best moment of your day. And really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, John Kachanowski, John Dayan, and Juan Iturri. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.